eyes bulged in horror and his mouth opened. Xavier looked angrily at the smiling protagonist and realized that he should not have expected anything else, because he came here not to sympathize and forgive. The brown-haired man continued to twist his smile in a malicious manner, and he did not consider himself a fool to kill someone who owed him money, because he would definitely not make such a rash step. Then the brown-haired man brought the tube to Talia's head and began to suck it, because he said that he would squeeze all the juices out of him until the end of his worthless life. The swindler immediately exclaimed excitedly, because he was curious why he offered him such a slave contract. The main character looked at him in surprise and realized that Thords had now begun to speak differently. The main character looked at him intently with angry looks, said that they had no choice but to force him to sign this contract by force and resolve this issue in court. The swindler immediately began to sign this contract with tears in his eyes. White clouds floated in the sky. At this time, the cart was carrying the guys along a forest path. The main character was riding in the cart with the knight and the swindler. Xavier held the blade on his shoulder and said that he managed to get some money from it, because it was enough to pay the interest for a couple of months. Lloyd did not understand what was being discussed, because he was going to use all this money for construction, because they had already been through this and 30 workers were not enough. The main character with a dissatisfied grin and leaned his hands on the cart when Xavier explained that someone from the villagers had to respond to their job ad or his reputation would precede him. It was a mountain range of a plain where there were fields. A couple of days later in the estate of the main character, there was a sign that labor was needed, where the salary was 20 gold and for information they should contact the Baron's estate. A whole crowd of people stood in line at the table in front of the Baron. Xavier stood next to the Baron, who assumed that all these people must hate him, to which Xavier wanted to express his opinion. The blue-haired knight closed his eyes and said that Lloyd had undertaken to install the heating system on time and at a low price, punished the traitor of the estate and forced him to appear before the highest court. Xavier looked down on the Baron and realized that he wanted to be considered a reliable person who could be trusted. The brown